right,
They're
we're
right
here
there
with Maggie and Philip.
they're on the dock.
All right.
So let's start by going back to when you first met. And actually, I don't think I've ever heard this story. And so, why don't you share how you first met and what your first impressions were of one another?
I can do both part one and part two because it's separated by like at least 2 years. So the first time I met Maggie, one, I actually had a crush on her friend, and I magically showed up at the library at the same time with my little sister and embarrassed myself. I think Maggie remembers that. And so I kind of blanked that out. And then I remember about 2 years later, I was hanging out with a mutual friend. And my mutual friend said, I'm hanging out with Philip Wilkerson. And Maggie said online, oh, that weird guy that was at the library. I remember that.
Stalker.
A stalker. And she made fun of me. And then some reason I got her name. And I said, oh.
On Instant Messenger.
Yeah. And so I just kind of said, oh, so you making fun of me, huh? And then we started talking. And one thing that I know Maggie knows is that was very attracted to her online wise by just our conversations that I set an alert. And so every time when she would come online, it would like a little door would open. I'm like, hey. And I was really look forward to that summer talking to her online and chatting.
Hey,
yeah, Magala 16 and Illphil 500. And so I was really always attracted to just our conversations that we had since day one. And
so it was like the early days of like meeting online, but we had met in person, and we did have a lot of mutual friends.
Yeah. So I redeemed myself with my assertiveness.
And then fast forward to the moment that you realized he or she was the one.
I also say once again, I think I was a little bit pressed before Maggie. I think I was the first one to say I love you. Remember that? I was the first one to do that. I used to write love letters, like real handwritten letters that you found from Bowie State because we had a long distance relationship. I felt very hard. Maggie was very nice to me when I was 18, like a very vulnerable time. And so it was just someone that really showed a lot of care about me. And actually, giving a lot of credit to someone that's very, very mature, she made me step my game up. She's like, oh, you want to be with me? You got to get good grades. So I got Dean's List because I was really wanted to transfer to JMU. So it was always someone that kept me together, kept me straight, kept me kept me responsible. And I admire that.
Maggie, how about you?
I was wondering if I was going to have an opportunity to talk. I haven't been able to say anything yet. Well, right. We started dating in the summer going into college, but we were going to different colleges. And I said, well, I said, I don't really want to, have anything serious going into college. But then we just kept talking. We would talk for hours in college. Philip would come to visit. And then I remember I had like a night out in college, and I said, can I tell people that I have a boyfriend? That's how we made it serious. I was like, can I tell people that I have a boyfriend? And that's how we ended up making it like official.
October. It was October.
Yeah, October 15th, 2003.
Yeah, I remember that. And I was like, I got a girlfriend, y'all. So I was pressed. I told everyone at Bowie.
I love how upfront you had all this time to just kind of get to know one another.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so when you reflect on your relationship, beginning, early marriage, and now having two amazing boys, how has your relationship evolved as your family has grown?
Oh.
You said I talked a lot. I had some answers, but I want you to go ahead.
I think it's evolved a lot over time of having more of a partnership. And for a long time, Philip would just say, tell me what you want me to do, or tell me what to do and I'll do it. And, we still have a lot of those things when it comes to household things that need to happen. But in general, I think we have a really strong partnership where we respect each other's opinions, talk things through.
Mm-hmm.
Philip is a very active dad, and I really appreciate that he's hands-on, he's, physical with the kids. He'll, play in the pool. He'll play football outside, play basketball, go for walks, and is comfortable taking the kids even on road trips on his own without me. So, that's something I love and respect.
I would say the thing, I'd say Maggie created a monster in me, because when I used to be upset, I didn't talk a lot. And so being with Maggie has made me more emotional. My emotional intelligence has grown a lot. I think she's motivated me to even go get my master's in counseling. And like she said, I think I used to just defer lots of things just to someone, thinking that I didn't have an opinion. But now I do have a lot of strong opinions about things. I think we do talk about a lot of things. There's not a lot of things that we sweep under the rug. We just get it out in the open. And I think one thing that's transformed too is more ambition career-wise. I care more about my career goals and stuff from when I first met you. And so I think
And that also shifted with having a second child too, I think.
Yeah, and caring about myself and caring about work. I think I've grown tremendously. I'm not grown, I'm growing. And I think I've grown a lot.
So it sounds like you've both grown individually and together.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was already grown though.
Okay.
She was already grown. She was already like a mini adult, but I think that I've caught up a lot. But I think at the same time too is that I can see you have reiterated the strengths I have. Like, I do go with the flow. I don't make a big fuss about certain things. I am adaptable, and that's a good time in certain things, right? Like, and I think that works, right? That works for us pretty well.
Well, you touched on my next and final question, which is around strengths and qualities in one another that you admire.
Yeah. All right, I'll go while Miles is done. One of the things that I've always admired about Maggie, I think a lot of people do, is that she is a solid rock for a lot of people. I think strong people, sometimes strong people need supports too, and I think a lot of people forget that she needs help as well because she's so strong. Yeah, and so one of the things I've always admired about her, is that her strength, her empathy, how she takes care of everybody, puts a lot of people before herself. Just a really strong person, both, emotionally and resilience. It's our kids, yeah.
Yeah, and I would say, Philip is flexible, adaptable. He can talk to anyone. He actually Miles, get down. Miles, get down. He makes connections with people and remembers those connections, remembers specific things about people, and I can take him anywhere and I know he'll be fine, which has been a really nice trait throughout our relationship, to know that we can go to any new environment or any place. And, despite oftentimes Philip is the only black person in the room or in a business, in a restaurant, and Philip, is confident and comfortable, and he can make himself, connect with anyone regardless of how different they may be from him.
Yeah, quick story. Remember your friend Lindsay Alger's wedding? Yeah. He was looking for me, and I was randomly outside with the
father of the bride.
Yeah, just
smoking cigars.
Yeah.
He didn't know anyone at the wedding.
Zero.
But he was outside.
So. I feel truly blessed, wrap it up, truly blessed to be with my lovely wife, and I'm very happy that we're together.